Morning, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Love 500 and welcome back to day one on Project Peter. Project Peter is going to start today. We've got to get the door off, we've got to get the wing off, we've got to get the headlight out, we've got to take the bumper off, jack it up, get the wheels off, have a look at the brakes, the usual sort of stuff. Yeah, I think we need to get on with it, don't we? See if we can at least get the door and the wing on today. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Need to get it watertight and be able to lock it because I can't even lock it at the moment. So let's do it. Let's get going. First thing I'm going to do is check the oil. Let's do it. Let's go. Right, as I say, I don't know anything about these cars whatsoever. I'm assuming this is the dipstick. Yep. There's oil in it. It's always a good sign. Coolant's all okay. Looks like it's up to where it should be. So it needs a damn good clean. That's normally the first thing I do, isn't it? But I'm not today because I want to get that door. I'd rather get that door done first. Needs some oil. It's about halfway. So if it's anything like the little 500, between minimum and maximum on those, you can see it there, between minimum and maximum on the little 500, it's about a litre. So if this is the same, I think this usually is 3.2 litres. So it's probably about a litre. So it does need some, I think it's 0W30. I need to check that. I haven't got any of the correct oil unless it uses the same, which it probably doesn't. So I need to check what oil it is and I say get some, but I say, as I said on the previous video, I'm going to get this serviced by a mechanic who's VAT registered, so I can offer it with a warranty. So obviously, I'm not going to bother buying any oil. I'll let them do that. But at least that's done. So we know the oil is there. There is some. Let's get on. Right. So I don't repeat the same mistake that I made before. I'm going to use a heat gun. Although it's relatively warm, it's not winter. It's spring, and it's probably about 15 degrees at the moment. It's going to get warmer, but I'm going to warm this up and then peel it off. So we don't want to melt it. We just want to get it to come off without taking off the lacquer. Now, let's see if we can open the door. It's obviously going to destroy the wing, but the wing's already destroyed anyway, so... Oh. Right, let's look at the hinges. Oh, it's the same hinges, same hinge setup as the little 500s, which is good, because that means I know what I'm doing. Let's show you. So yeah, they even look exactly the same, to be fair. I'm just hoping they haven't moved or bent. Hopefully not. Hopefully it's just the door that's actually bent rather than the hinges. I think that is what tends to happen. But of course can't be sure. Don't know how the door card comes off. Everything looks very similar actually. We've got the same sort of bolts in the lock. Does the donor door include a lock? I think it's complete actually. I think it's everything. Check straps there. Locks there, yeah, everything seems to be there. That's good result. So I guess we need to go ahead and get this door off. Get the bolts undone and disconnect the electrical connection and lift it off. Not a good start. I can't actually get to the bloody bolts. They're actually 13mm on these hinges, not 10mm like they are in the other car. And I've tried the spanner in there, won't go on. I've tried the open-ended spanner on there, and you just can't get it on there because I don't know if it's because the door's not opening fully. I'll have a look on the other door actually, but I've tried using a universal joint thing on there to get that on. Won't go on. I just can't get anything on it. Oh, how annoying. So I might have to take the wing off first. Let me just open the other door. See, that's obviously pushing against the wing. Can I open it any more? I've opened it a little bit more. I might have to try again actually. Just want to get the bloody bolts undone. It's not a good start. Right, that was a job and a half, that was. using a different combination of different spanners and stuff. Managed to get the door, the check strap off, and I managed to get the wiring off. Eventually I got the bolts off, and hopefully this will just lift off now. Am I going to hold it? I should take the door card off really, but here we go. No, it's not going to come. I think it's because it's mangled. I might have to use the jack. God, blimey. Maybe I should take the wing off first. Now I've that's strange. Now I've undone that, I can't even get the... oh, that was the cable. I'm just shutting the cable in the door. Yeah, I don't know why it won't come off. Probably a jack. There is a possibility, you know, that these hinges are bent. I don't know what they're meant to look like, of course. I might have to get some new ones. Let's hope not, but shall I just get the jack underneath it? I'm not going to damage anything, am I? Let's get the jack. Right, let's see if we can do this. Let's try doing it without the block. Actually, probably better to do it nearer the front, I suppose. Yeah, there we go, it's coming off. That's better. That was easy, wasn't it? Oh, it's left that behind. Is that supposed to be on the door or on the wing? Don't know. Can't actually get it out at the moment until I've got the wing off. Right, let's have a look at these hinges, shall we? Right, it's difficult to tell, as I say, because I don't really know what these are meant to look like anyway. But that appears to me, I mean, it might be meant to be like that, but that appears to me to be leaning that way. So I may need a bit of a whack with a hammer. I'll have to have a look at the other side and compare it. Because these are a pain, the same as you get them off on the little 500s, you've got to get in through here. Which the driver's side on the little 500s is easier because you can get to it, whereas the other side is the metalwork in the way. But yeah, hopefully they won't be needed. But I won't really know until I get the door on, I suppose. So I think what I need to do is get the wing off and then offer up the new door and see how it goes on. That's that. It took a little bit of figuring out. Of course, when you've got the replacement panel, you may have seen me on time lapse get this and look, see where the bolts are. That made it easier to get to them. So the only one that I couldn't get to was that one, but it just slid out anyway. So I don't know how you get, I suppose you get in through there. Now, I have to say, as you know, I only do Fiat 500s. I take my hat off to anyone that does other cars, and I guess it slows you down if you've never done a car before, a particular car before. You don't know where all the bolts are, which I didn't with this. I mean, it's very, very similar to the ordinary 500, but they are in different places. One good thing is they use less sealant on this. I only had one bolt that had sealant around it, and that didn't have much, so that was good. But we are getting there. Quite good progress at the moment, so I don't think this is, I think that's meant to be like that shape. I think it's a bit difficult to tell. I don't know whether this is bent over or not. Going by the wing, I don't know whether, I think that's meant to be like that. I'm not sure whether that is straight or not. I won't know for certain until I offer it up. So the top bit isn't, that bit isn't definitely, but this may well be bent. There's all bits of headlight under here. You need to get that headlight out. I was going to try and do it without taking the bumper off. I probably can't. I can probably lift out that headlight because the lug's obviously going to be broken, but don't know. If I can do it without taking the bumper off, I will. Yeah, I won't know for certain until I get the wing on there and offer it up as to whether that's broken or not, and the headlight, because of course the headlight will bolt to that side bit as well. So if that is bent, then I just need to straighten it, which that'll be fine. I'll be able to do that, no problem. Yeah. It's just whether this bit is here. I think the way this is shaped, I think that is meant to be like that. You can never tell with these things because you know you've got. Well, I suppose that's a crash can, isn't it? Which isn't collapsed. I hasten to add. That looks all straight, but I don't know what these look. I don't know what these are meant to look like. It's because it's gone in sideways, isn't it? The wing. So it's whether the wing has stopped. I mean, this is tough old steel. That bit is obviously welded on, so that can quite easily be pulled back. That won't be a problem. But I don't think it's deformed. I'm not really sure because having never done one of these, I don't know whether this bit here is meant to be in a straight line. It is quite possibly meant to be, but as I say, I won't know until I offer the wing up. But before we do the wing, it's got to be the door. That's the first thing to do. So I suppose I better take the door out the back and start taking bits off of it. The only bit I need to take off of it is the door card. I will take all the other bits off before I get rid of it, just as spares that I can then hopefully sell. As I say, because I don't have any intention of doing another one of these. So I might as well sell the spares, whatever bits I can get off of there. I need that bit. That bit I do need, which I thought I was going to have to buy, but of course it was still there. So luckily I don't, because it's not on the door, the new door. So I guess the first thing we need to find out is whether this is bent. I'm pretty sure it is, you know. I really do think it is. Because that, if you remember, the door was pushed backwards, wasn't it? There's no damage here. Maybe a tiny little bit there. But there's no damage to speak of. That can be touched in with a bit of paint. So it's lifted this off. It's pushed that back, as we know. But we can soon straighten that up. That's not a problem at all. So we know that top of that door has moved. I don't think there's any damage up here at all. It's all straight. Yeah. There's not a bolt that comes through from the other side, is there? It's only these two. Oh, that's handy. If that's the case, I might as well just get one. Yeah. I'm going to have a look online and see if there are any. I can put the new door on for the time being. But yeah, if they're only held on from the front, assuming they're not welded on, which I don't think they would be, otherwise they wouldn't have bolts in them. It's probably just those two bolts. I think I might loosen that. Looks like a Torx in the middle, yeah, I'm going to take that off or loosen it. I've had a look on eBay and there doesn't seem to be any specifically on eBay. You can get the hinges for the door, the ones that go on the door, and the check straps, but not this. Now what I've just done, 15mm bolt, two 15mm bolts, I've undone them all, and it does come off just with the two 15mm bolts. So all I've done is I've loosened them a little bit. Now the top one wasn't that tight, so I think what it might have done is it shifted. I mean, if you look there, you can see like a lack of paint around it there. So I think that has shifted. Now I've shifted that back a little bit, and if you look at that now, oh, excuse me, if you look at that now, that looks straight. So I'm thinking rather than it having bent, because they are quite strong, it's just shifted. So I've done them up, not mega tight, but I've done them up, and I'm going to attempt to put the door on. Right, I stopped filming because as much as I was doing it on the jack, I just cannot do this on my own. Really is a two-person job. It's not me being a weakling. Yes, they're heavy, but you can't pick it. I mean, it doesn't help with the window wound up, but you can't pick it up and see at the front what you're doing at the same time. It would have been easier. I mean, I know they're probably 2/3 of the length of a normal Fiat 500 door, but they're still heavy, and you just can't do it. I got my daughter out here. She supported the bottom of it while I was at the front. Didn't film it. She didn't want to be on film, and it just slipped on easy. So I haven't tried closing it yet. I'm wondering whether I think I might do the bolts up. It slipped in there nicely. So as I said, I adjusted that by eye, and it seems to have gone in quite nicely. So I'm going to put the nut and bolts back into those. I'm going to do the check strap up, and then I'm going to try closing it and seeing how it goes. So we'll do that live with you and see if it closes well, or closes at all for that matter. It might not. It might need some adjustment. If it does, then I'm hoping we can adjust it from those nuts rather than having to start bashing the thing. We'll see. So I'll just do those bolts back up, do the check strap back up, and then we'll come back and you can shut. I'll shut it at the same time you're watching, and we can see if it works. Right, I'm pleased to say that when you haven't got a crushed door, you can actually get the bolts done up. So I managed to get the top one done up with a ring spanner, ratchet spanner, and the bottom one I got done up with a socket. Right. Oh, I haven't done the check strap. Let me just do the check strap up, and then we'll try and shut the door. I'm nervous about this. I'm not expecting it to be perfect, but I'm just hoping it actually shuts. Let me just do that up. Completely forgot about that. Let me just do that, and we'll come back. That's that. 30 seconds later. Let's try it, shall we? Nervous moment. So it's not going to catch on the wing because the wing's not there. What do we reckon? Not right, but it does actually close. So I think those well, that seems to be all right actually, you know, just there. That gap around there is all right. Well, so what I mean is there isn't a gap. The gap on the door looks all right actually. So it might just be that thing that needs adjusting. Let's try it again. Yeah, it's that it's catching on. It's a little bit too high. That needs moving down a little bit. Yes. Oh, how cool is that? And it's a perfect match as well, which is even better. Yeah. Oh, I'm well chuffed with that. Well chuffed. So I'm just going to loosen off that this. I'm just going to move this down a smidge, and then I reckon it will shut perfectly. Let's try that. Right, I've done it. I did adjust that, and it didn't seem to make an awful lot of difference. And when I looked at it, it was actually catching the side of the bolts was catching on there, which of course told me that the door was just that little bit too far that way. So what I've done is I shut the door, loosened these bolts off, pushed the door in, closed the door, and then done those back up, and it seems to have done the trick. Yes, perfect, absolutely perfect. Love it. Yep, that's good. Right, I'm going to get that off and then just put it back on in place. And I think, now see, I was thinking because of that, I wasn't going to be able to get the wing on, but now I can offer the wing up and see if that down there is bent, and if it is, straighten it. Better progress than I thought I was going to make, to be fair. I'll have it driving by the end of the day. Oh, what good! I'm really pleased about that. That is really good. I need to get the mirror on as well, of course. But let's just do that strip, and then we'll offer this wing up and see how it fits. I've got to figure out where this thing how this thing goes back in as well. Well, probably it goes somewhere in here. My 500X has got these things. Not quite sure how they go in. Because it fell out when I'll look on the other side, but I don't worry about it too much at the moment. I figured out what this is. It's this piece. It pops onto the door, so that's already on. So it's on the donor door, so I haven't got to try and figure out where that goes. That's good. Oh, well pleased, well pleased. Right, let's get on. Right, time to put the mirror on. So luckily this replacement mirror came with new bolts. Sorry, not new bolts, came with bolts, screws, because they're not here, the ones for the The original mirror, the mirror's not here, and the bolts are also not here. Obviously it was destroyed in the accident. So luckily, we have them. So I just need to cut off that little label in there, and then we can put this on. I've got the power reconnected because I wanted to test the repeater bulb in the indicator. That I don't know if you can see it. That I wanted to test that because there was water in that before, and I've dried it out, but that's working fine. So I'm just going to clean those little bits of tape off, cut that label off, and then we'll get the mirror on. So I think it slots in, and then you do the screws up. So you push the wire in through there, presumably, and that goes in like that. And then is that going to stay there without falling if I go around the other side? Yes. And then the screws. Where do the screws go? Oh, one there. One there. And then we've got that piece that was hanging off for the inside of the door as well, which goes on. This is going all far too smoothly. We've got this bit on the inside. I don't know if this may have to go on after the door card goes on, actually. So let's just plug it in and offer it up and see. So we've got a plug there. I don't know what that's. Oh, that's probably for the switch, isn't it? So that's the electrical plug for that, which we'll plug in. So this is for the electric mirrors. So that's that plugged in, and then that goes into there. There's a popper on there and a popper on there. I don't know whether that needs to come off again, but we'll leave it on there for the time being. That's it. So that was a pain in the arse. A lot more screws than there are on the little 500, a lot more. So let me show you. So I had to take this out, and there's a little round thing that pops out there, which comes out of there. You've got clips there, which I've bent up a little bit, so I didn't know they were there. There was another screw just there. This thing is screwed. Is that the thing under there? No, I think that's actually supposed to be glued on there, so I'm going to have to super glue that back because that's flapping about otherwise. So I was trying not to force it, but because you could feel that there was something holding on to it, but I just couldn't figure out what. The little tweeter has popped out, so I shall pop that. I'll unplug that and put that into the old, back into here. Yeah, there was those two screws at the side which we knew about. That one there and that one there. It was a job and a half to get it off. I'm not sure whether this is on the new door or not, so I'll have to. I'm assuming all the glass is in the bottom of here. Yeah, I've got to get the handle off, haven't I? Because I've got to swap the handles over before I put the door card on. But I just want to get it all back together. But yeah, that's it. That's off. So we need to get that lock out. So let's figure out how we do that, because there's no doubt it's going to be different. The 500X I think is easier than it is on the 500 to take a lock out. I'm not going to bother taking the actual lock barrel out. I'm just going to swap the whole thing over. There's no point. I'll take it out of this one. Sorry, not this one. This is the old door. I'll take it out of the new one because I can sell the handle. I don't know if these handles break like the little 500s do, probably. But it's worth selling that handle, isn't it? So I can claw back a few quid here and there. Because if I take assuming that the locks come out in the same way as they do on the little 500 with a little circlip, I'll take the lock out and sell the handle. But we need to get the lock out the other door, the old door first. So it is coming along nicely, isn't it? It is really coming along nicely. Let me see if the door will lock. I think that's locked now. Yes. So we won't get that annoying beeping noise anymore. That's good. Excellent. Yeah, I can't figure out how this comes out. It looks similar to the one on the 500X, but there doesn't appear to be any screws or clips or anything that I can see. There's a little hole there, but it doesn't look like a screw. So it might be a screw of some sort, but that would, if it is, that will only release that little piece. there's nothing that I can see. I've had a torch in there and had a good look, and I'm blowed if I can see anything. So I think I'm going to hope it's on YouTube. If not, it's on one of the forums. So I think what I'm going to do for the time being, I have got an MOT today on Project Barry. So in a couple of hours, or less than a couple of hours. So I have filled up the squirters this morning. I've checked the tyres; they're all okay. As far as I know, all the lights are okay. It's going into the body shop soon, the end of the month, so I thought I might as well get the MOT done, and then park my service. Once the bodywork's done, it's ready to go then. So yeah, thought I might as well get it MOT'd today, as there was a slot available. So yeah, I'm pleased with the progress so far. But that's the next thing to do, is swap that handle, I think. So we do need to offer this wing up. But until such time, I can't put the wing on until such time as I've got a headlight, and we'll get the bumper off and fix that DRL. So I'll go and I haven't received any offers on the headlights that I'm liking. So I think what I'll do is I'll go and make some offers on the ones that are up for an amount of money or best offer. I'll make like £50 offers or whatever. Yeah, see if I can get one. So hopefully that will come by. I can get one bought and get that by the end of the week, and then we can continue. So I will see you on the other side. I'm just going to put the wheel back on so we can get the car back down on its wheels and get it back down on the sensible place on the drive. I just thought I'd show you the state of this tyre. So that's obviously the outside. As you can see, it's completely bald, even in the middle. It's virtually no tread. The inside of it's not too bad, but that is a big time failure on the MOT. That would not stop you, which is probably why that happened. I would say, I would put money on it that that's the reason this car had a crash. It's had to brake for some reason, skidded, locked up, hit whatever it's hit. How ridiculous. How ridiculous. And this one is just the same. No doubt when we get it off, it'll be the same in the middle like that one is. It's Avon tyres. They're probably the original tyres that were on the car. I wouldn't be surprised. I will check those back ones as well. If it means me spending the money and getting new or part-worn tyres all round, that's what I'll do. I need to ring me tyre. I'll have a look, see how much these tyres are new, but I'll probably get part-worns like I do for the little cars. There's no reason not to, really. But yeah, don't think we need to get new number plates, or shall we? Might do. Might get some new number plates for it. I usually do. There's nothing wrong with these ones, actually. Oh, I'm a bit dark. Yeah, as you probably know, Copart don't actually give the physical logbooks anymore. Why am I so dark? That's better. They don't give you the physical logbook anymore. What they do is they send you the number. So when this car was delivered on Friday, when I was at work, by the time I got home, there was an email waiting for me with the V5 number. Now I've only got one MOT in the book pack, so I wanted to print out all the other MOTs. Because I've got the VIN number, the logbook number, document reference number, I was able to do that. So I went to the .gov to put it in, and it came up and said, didn't recognise it. Oh my God. To cut a long story short, the long number, which is 12 numbers, it's meant to be 11. So I took the last one off and tried it, still failed. Took the first one off, tried that, and it worked. So somehow they've got an extra number in there. So luckily I realised, because I was not happy as you can imagine, because obviously when it comes to selling this, I'm not gonna register this in my name because I've got the logbook reference. So I know some people don't. I know Mark at Resurrect, on one of his videos last week, he said that he has never registered them in his name. The main reason I do that is not for selling them, it's for chasing up service history and printing out the MOTs, that sort of thing. I don't know what Mark does about that. Maybe he just doesn't do it, I don't know. And he has only had one problem, he said, where he hasn't been able to, the buyer hasn't been able to get the road tax for it. Because what you can do with those V62s, you can take the logbook, you can take the V62 to the post office and pay for the tax, and they send off your V5 for you. Now, for you to be able to do that, the car has to be shown in trade. So as long as the car's shown in trade, that's fine. Of course, unless you phone up the DVLA and ask them, I'm assuming they would tell you, but you wouldn't know. But I don't need to on this one, as I say, because even if it's not shown in trade, it doesn't matter, because I've got the document reference number. So I can go onto the .gov website, put in that document reference number as if I had the logbook, so it doesn't add a new owner. So if you see that on Copart where it says V5 available, that's always a bonus, because it won't be in the car, but they will email you and send it to you. And I didn't even have to ask. Just wanted to let you know about that. Anyway, let's get back to the car. I've got the wing on. I've just, I say got the wing on. It's temporarily on. It's literally held on by one bolt. It's slid into there, and then it's held in by that one bolt. That's all, just to keep the weather off of it. And as you can see, it looks good. A little bit of a gap there. Well, the only reason there's a gap down there is because the bolt's not done up. But what I've discovered is that is bent. That is not only bent in, but it's bent down as well, so that needs to be straightened. But that's all right, we can do that, not a problem at all. That was another reason I just wanted to get this offered up. All this is straight, everything else is straight. But yeah, it's it's starting to look the part already, isn't it? I know we've got to do this as well. I'm going to carefully close this, because what I don't want it to do, if this is bent over and is going to damage this, I'm going to carefully close it just to make sure that that isn't pushing down on this, because if it is, I'm going to bend that up now. So I'm just going to do that carefully, because I want to give it a bit of a wash this afternoon. So I just wanted to put that on to do that. That was all. I was thinking about, shall I actually, because there's an ECU of some sort there. I don't know what ECU it is. Might even be the engine ECU, which is obviously water can get in there. So I might cover that up with something. Or put the headlight back in position, one or the other. Don't know. We'll think about that. It's not going to rain because it's nice blue sky, but between now and when I get the headlight, it might well do. So, but look at that. It's when you stand back here, it looks almost done, doesn't it? Great. Yeah, I'm going to just carefully close this, because I reckon it will. I reckon that's going to bash into that. So let's try that now, just to make sure it does. The last thing I want to do is damage the wing. It doesn't. That's good. It's lined up. Obviously it needs straightening, because that's why you got that bit protruding there, but yeah, no, it doesn't hurt it at all. That's good. Right, I can just cover that hole up with something, and then we can give it a wash. That's it, clean and a little bit shiny. It's going to need a damn good polish, this car. When you look at the door here, what's going on here? Did I miss that bit with the? I reckon I missed that bit with the snow foam. I'll have to go over that again. Strange. But yeah, it really needs a good wet wash. I've just given it a wash. It needs a good polish and a good wax. Me and red, it will come up really nice, I'm sure. Yeah. Yes, I've got a cloth and a bin liner in there just to protect it. So I've won a headlight. I made an offer of 70 quid, and that's been accepted. I made an offer of, I can't remember how much, 25 I think it was, on a arch liner, and they've counter bid at 30, so I will buy that as well. And is that it? Headlight, arch liner, I think that's it then, isn't it? Everything else that's going to be repaired. I think that's all I need. Yeah, don't need to get number plates. I'll just put some new screws in those. Wheels have come up not too bad as well. I mean, it's only a first clean, but this one's not quite so good. The other side is really good, but they're not bad. They're not scuffed particularly. In fact, at all, I don't think. It's normally the near side that's the worst, isn't it? What does that one look like? A little bit, tiny bit, nothing much. That one's come up cleaner actually. So that's only the first clean. I did use the wheel cleaner and give them a scrub, but it's just the first wash. They'll get a proper one. The wheels will come off and get a proper clean. And obviously, then we'll get the new tyres on there. So I'll make a note of these tyres. I think they are, there's one I can see properly. What's the size? 205, 55, 16. Yeah, so I think we'll probably get tyres all round. Right, next day delivery on the Headlight, which is good. I bought it the night before last. or the evening before last. Dispatch yesterday, delivered today by DPD. Good service. As you can see here, I managed to get this out. It couldn't be any easier to do this. It is really easy. At long last, Fiat have actually produced something. It's easy to get out. I did look on YouTube. There was a video on YouTube, one video, which wasn't a very good video, I hasten to add. And it even told you the wrong size Torx spanner, which didn't help. But I figured it out, and I'll show you on my car now how you do it. And I might even do a video on it, a separate video, because there is only that one bad video out there that shows you how to do it. So let's do it. Right, it's very easy, this, very, very easy. So bear in mind, I don't need to take this piece off at all. Oh, I thought I'd just unlock the car. Back to the drawing board. Yeah, where's the keys gone? I've lost the keys now. Oh, they're in my pocket. Bear with, bear with. That's it, now it's open. Right, so yeah, so I don't need to take this piece off. But I'm going to show you on the other car, on the other door, how to take this piece off. This will come out in its entirety really, really easily. Let me show you how. So the one video I found on YouTube said that in that hole, and I'm sure there should be a little blanking rubber over there, but there isn't on either door. You're probably not going to be able to see in there. In fact, let me get a torch. Yeah, in there. So you see that in there? There's a tiny, tiny little Torx socket. And all you do is a T15. In the other YouTube video that I found, it said it was a T20. And I remembered this from my 500X that I changed the door handle on. Obviously, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. On Fiats, it's the other way. I don't know if other cars are like this, but you actually, to release it, you turn the screw clockwise as if you were doing it up, and you can feel it coming undone. Now we don't want it, I don't know how far you need to bring it out, because obviously you don't want it to come out so it falls out all the way. So it's a bit of trial and error. Let me put you on tripod and then we'll see if it will come off now. Right. So we've undone that, and now all you do, I don't know if it's got to come up, it's got to come undone a bit more, so we'll turn it a little bit more. It's difficult to find the hole. Where's it gone? Let me torch. There it is. So undo it a little bit more, or what appears to be doing it up. A bit more. And then eventually, it just pulls out. Look at that. How easy is that? So then, all we've got to do is get it. Oh, bang my head on the wall. Is get the other one. Let me just get the other one. So then we get the new one, or say the new one. This is the one off of the car, the original one off of the car, and then we put it into position, and then we do the exact same reverse. We'll put the, can't find the screw again. Turn the screw anti-clockwise to do it up. I think I've lost. No, it is on it. There we go, it's getting tighter. There we go. That's it. That's it. It's as simple as that. Absolutely, you couldn't be any easier. That's it. Lock changed. Right, here we are again. Okay, so as I told you before, I bought a headlight, and it came beautifully wrapped up in a nice big box. And then when I got it out of the box, I found wherever that goes, over here somewhere, like so. No, wherever it goes, I don't know where it goes. Hang on a minute, where are we? Oh, where does it go? I don't know. But it snapped off. I can't figure out where it goes. Yeah. So it's the, oh, for God's sake, it's this one here, goes just here. He's snapped off. Now, it was in the box, obviously. In the pictures on the listing, it wasn't snapped off. So it's a bit annoying. But I sent a message to the breakers. It's a proper breakers yard, or breakers company. Sent a picture. Said unfortunately, despite it being extremely well boxed and wrapped up in bubble wrap and cardboard and so on, it's broken. They messaged me back within the hour and said, terribly sorry, we'll have a look, see if we can find another one for you. We'll get back to you first thing in the morning. First thing in the morning, had a message from them, sorry, we've scoured through the warehouse, we can't, the only one we can find has also got broken tabs. We'll give you a full refund. Don't worry about having to send it back, hopefully you can make it work. Within an hour, I had the refund. So you can't really go wrong with that, can you? That is what you call good customer service. And I'm going to plastic weld it and hot staple it, and then I can use it. So I've basically got a new headlight for free, which is really good, really good. So I'm going to plastic weld that now, actually. Yeah, plastic weld it, hot staple it, and then I'm not going to put it on because what I'm going to do, let me show you actually, rather than talking about it, let me show you. What should happen is that there should line up with that, I think. I'm pretty sure. So I think, I'm not sure what screws in, there's a hole there. I'm not sure what screws into that, but that I feel should line up with there. And I will have to check it on the other side. Once I've got the bumper off, we can check it on the other side. So this has pushed down. So what I'm going to do on Monday is I'm going to take the wheel off, put it up, or put it on an axle stand, and then I'm going to get my porter power out, and I'm going to push off the ground and push this up. I think it's more, it has gone in a little bit, but not an awful lot, because it's sort of lined up there, isn't it? It's just got to come up, and that bit there is a little bit twisted round, so that can easily be tapped back. So I'll do that first, but what I'll do is I'll get the porter power underneath and I'll push up on that. I think that's probably meant to be straight looking there. Can't really see from here. Yeah, that should be in a straight line up here somewhere. So I think that was, yeah, that bolt hole there, I think is probably what the wing connects to the inner wing. So that hole might be something to do with the headlight, I'm not really sure, which probably lines up with that. No, I don't know actually. No, maybe the bolt comes through from the other side. I don't know, I'll have to check on the other side, so I'm really not sure. Never done one of these before, so I don't know. But whatever way you look at it, that's got to be straightened. So I'm going to get the porter power out, and I'm going to push off the floor. Now, all you clever clogs out there, I know what you're thinking. The car's going to go up in the air. Of course the car's going to go up in the air. But that's the way I'm going to do it. And I might even sit on the front of the car as I'm doing it, just to help with an extra bit of weight. That's the most obvious place to push off, isn't it? I could pull it, but then I've got to connect it to something to pull. It's much easier to try pushing it. If it don't work, then I'll have to, back to the drawing board, but I reckon it will work. So that's the plan. Wheel off, on an axle stand, take the bumper off, look at the other side, compare it, push it, put it all back together, get the wing connected up properly, repair that, get that all back on, get the headlight back in, and then all we've got to do then is that. Try and do that. If we can't do it, we'll get a new bonnet. So that's the plan for Monday. I just wanted to show you that. So now I'm going to plastic weld the headlight and hot staple it, and then we'll come back. Right, I'm going to now, I was going to clean this up before I put it on, but I think it makes more sense to actually clean it up when it's on. I've just inserted the tweeter back in there. That was a job and a half. It's absolutely filthy, that. Hopefully I'm sure it'll clean up fine. Obviously the material part of it will be done with the wet vac, the Karsha. I'm just trying to think what, so that's obviously speaker. Oh, that's the window controls, isn't it? Or whatever that is. Yeah, window controls. So yeah, that's already plugged in and that works. I've tried that. Don't know whether that needs to come off. We'll figure that out in a minute. But yeah, I'm going to offer it up. I've got all the bits and pieces that I need for it there, all the screws and everything. Poppers, they're still on it. So yeah, it should be an easy enough job to get it on. Again, never done it, but it's not exactly a big job. Yeah, let's do it. I did it all wrong. I took that off, and then I took the bolts, the screws out, but then I realised that it was the screws for the mirror. So I put the top one back in, and then put this back on, and then tried to put the bottom 2 mirror screws on. And of course, this is in the way, so I had to undo that bolt, pull it all out of the way, and then use a Torx wrench on it to do them up, which was really awkward. But it's done now. The only thing is I've got a bolt in there, and that's just sitting there loose, so I'm assuming there's something that should sit in there that it screws to. I'm going to have a look on the old door and see if there's something that's probably on the bottom of the bit of metalwork that it screws into, because there's nothing on here. So that, I mean, it's not loose, but it's not bolted down, so I need to find that, hopefully, from the other door. Apart from that, it's done. I'm assuming that I've put it all together, of course, assuming it all works. The main thing being, of course, that I can open it. Yeah. That's it, that's good. That's much better now. Now we're getting somewhere. With the door card on, and it works. Excellent. Right, that's that. Right, there we go. That's all plastic welded and hot stapled, and I'll just give those a little while just to cool down properly, and then I'll file those off, cut those off with a little rotary tool, and then on Monday, once I've done the inner wing and the bumper and so on, I can put that back in. I'm just going to see if I can get that DRL out now without taking that bumper off. While I've got the hot stapler out, I could fix that one as well. I'm just going to try that. If not, I'll just leave it till Monday. So I am going to call it a day on this video. We're going to wrap this one up now because it's about 40 minutes long now. I didn't realise it was quite so long. So we've got quite a bit done. I'm pleased with the progress so far. It's all going swimmingly at the moment. Monday will be hopefully finishing off the front. I've already hoovered it. I didn't bother filming that, so it needs a proper good clean on the inside as well, and obviously the seats need cleaning. We'll get that, hopefully get that front finished, get that thing straightened up on Monday, and then we can give it another clean, get some new tyres on it, get those scratches done, and see whatever else we need to do. We've got to be MOT'd, so and it's going to need a service as well. So yeah, it's some exciting stuff to come on this car. Let me know what you think of it. I know I've already asked you that on the video that, from my perspective, comes out tomorrow. So at the moment, none of you know what I've got while I'm recording this. Tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, the walk around video comes. So it'll be a bit of a surprise for you. And hopefully, you've already all told me how you hate this car. Not my favourite, I have to say, but hopefully the figures are good, so we should be able to sell it. Anyway, enough waffle. I will see you on the next one. And until then, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.